to the Clerk of the Court Live. My name is Sahani Hill, and I am the Assistant Comptroller for the Honorable Dorothy Brown, the Clerk of the Circuit Court, and I will be your host today. You may view Clerk of the Court Live on CAN TV on Channel 21 or on cantv.org/live. This is a live call-in show. We welcome your questions and comments from our audience. The number is 312-738-1060. So feel free to call in. Please note our contact information for the Clerk of the Circuit Court. We're headquartered at 50 West Washington with other locations around Cook County. Our general number is 312-603-5031, and our website is cookcountyclerkofcourt.org. I'm so happy to introduce this week's guest, Gerald Jones. He is the Chief Deputy Clerk of the Chancery Division, who will be speaking about the Mortgage Foreclosure Surplus Search Service.
Tahani, thank you for that introduction. I'm very pleased to be here on Clerk of the Court Live.
Gerald, can you share with our audience a general overview of the Chancery Division and how it pertains to the mortgage foreclosure surplus?
Well, the Chancery Division of the Circuit Court is a court of equity where lawsuits are heard regarding class actions, injunctions, declaratory judgments, mechanics lien, administrative reviews, and mortgage foreclosures.
Gerald, what is mortgage foreclosure surplus?
Well, if a property was sold as a result of a mortgage foreclosure at a court-ordered auction, and the sale is for more than the amount owed to the bank, state law requires that any surplus amount of more than $100 be deposited with the county clerk's office into an interest-bearing account.
How and where could I find out if I have a mortgage foreclosure surplus owed to me?
Well, there's three ways to find out. First and foremost, you can go on the web at cookcountyclerkofcourt.org, and you can navigate the clerk's office search engine to locate surplus funds. You can also call the Chancery Division at 312-603-5133, and our staff will be able to give you information regarding specific court cases. In addition to that, you can come into our office in the Daily Center at 50 West Washington Street on the 8th floor in room 802, and we'd be happy to assist you there as well.
Gerald, is there anywhere else in the Daily Center I can go to ask about the mortgage foreclosure?
You can also go to our accounting division, which is on the 10th floor in room 1005, and there's staff there that's available to assist as well.
How much money is the Clerk of the Circuit Court holding for mortgage foreclosure surplus funds?
That's a great question, and there's a lot of money there that's unclaimed right now. There's over $23.5 million that's held in interest-bearing account for mortgage surplus.
Wow, that is a lot of money. Estimated, how many property owners would that represent?
Right now, the last estimate I got earlier today was over 3,000 property owners which still have unclaimed mortgage foreclosure surplus.
Oh, that's a lot. What's the website that I can go to find out if I have a mortgage foreclosure surplus?
Once again, that's on the clerk's website, www.cookcountyclerkofcourt.org, and there's a banner to search for mortgage foreclosure surplus.
Gerald, could you tell me how to navigate through the search engine?
Yes. Once you're on the surplus engine, it's very simple. You just put in your last name along with the first initial of your first name, and upon selecting search, the site will let you know if there's a match, and it'll at that point give you the additional information that you would need based on the number to call and the specific documents that you would need to have filled out in order to claim surplus.
If I do find my name on the search engine, what's my next steps?
Next, you would it would supply you with a number. You call into the number that goes right to our accounting division. Upon calling that number, then the staff there will direct you as far as if there's surplus, where to go in the office, meaning the Chancery Division on the 8th floor in room 802. You fill out the various motion, the petition for turnover of surplus. You go before a judge once you're given a court date, and it's only released by the presiding judge of the Chancery Division, and you would go to that specific calendar to have the decision made.
In the Daily Center, what two places I can go to inquire about my mortgage foreclosure surplus?
You would go Chancery Division and Accounting Division.
All right.
Chancery Division is room 802 and Accounting is room 1005.
Okay, great. How long approximately does it take to receive mortgage foreclosure surplus funds?
Well, there's a moratorium, meaning that it takes 30 days before you can even petition, 30 days from the date that the sale was made, before you can even petition for a release of the surplus funds. At that point, it would probably be anywhere from 60 to 90 days before you're going to receive your funds.
Gerald, when I get my order to receive funds, what do I do with the order?
You would take that order to the accounting division, and they would make sure that the proper procedures are in place to facilitate your check.
Oh, great. If I file bankruptcy, would that affect my surplus?
It's possible that it would not, but parties petitioning for the turnover of surplus who have a case pending in bankruptcy court must present an order from the bankruptcy court authorizing the distribution of surplus funds.
When I go to court, is there certain documents that I should bring when I appear?
The burden of ID would be to make sure that you have the proper photo identification along with proof of your connection to the subject property.
Would my surplus funds accrue interest?
The funds are kept in an interest-bearing account, yes.
When am I able to go to 802 and search my case for the mortgage foreclosure on your public access terminals?
Yes, you are. You
Great.
can do that by either name, or if you happen to have a case number, you would be able to look it up by the number as well. But the search engine facilitates both.
Oh, great. What else would I need to know that's important about mortgage foreclosure surplus?
Well, it really is important that you're aware of the specific documents that you need, specifically the judgment of foreclosure and sale, which would indicate to the court that there was a bankruptcy proceeding, along with how much money was gathered or garnered from the sale. At that point, based on how much was owed, it would determine whether or not there were surplus funds. So you definitely have to have the judgment of foreclosure and sale that's available in the case once there's a decision made.
And how would I find that?
That would also be available on our search engine. You would just come into the clerk's office, any of the clerk's office that have the digital access terminals, which are Chancery Division, Law Division, Civil Division, Domestic Relations. We have several divisions that have those terminals in place, and you can always look up any case from that site.
Can I go and inquire about mortgage foreclosure in any other locations except the Daily Center?
You cannot.
Okay, so I would definitely have to go to the Daily Center to find out about my mortgage foreclosure. Is it for the mortgage foreclosure, is it where I can download the court forms that I need to appear in court on the website?
Yes, they are. All of our forms are available on the clerk's website. The notice of motion, the petition for turnover surplus, those are all forms that are available on the clerk's website, which once again, Cook County Clerk of Court.org. Just select the forms, go to Chancery Division, and you will be able to access those documents.
Yes, and also for mortgage foreclosure, do you know how far back they are holding funds?
Um, it goes back pretty far. But at this moment, I know that the mortgage foreclosure funds are available all the way back until the 1990s.
Oh wow, that's a long time. So it's a lot of people out there that can have funds there.
Yes, from my understanding, the average amount of money that's available is about $2,000 per litigant. There are some litigants that have had as much as a couple $100,000 that have been unclaimed. There's been various attempts to reach these people to make sure that they're aware, and some have not responded to try to get their funds back, but the funds are still held in the account, and we're actively pursuing everyone that we can to make sure that they are aware of the fact that the funds are available and the various mechanisms that they have to go to in order to receive those funds.
Oh, great. Um, you're having an expungement summit. Would the mortgage foreclosure table be at the expungement summit?
The foreclosure table will be available at the expungement summit, yes.
That's great. And when you search the mortgage foreclosure surplus engine, you said that you put in your last name and your first initial. How do I because Gerald Jones. Gerald Jones is a common name, and G. How do I know it's actually Gerald Jones?
Well, the site will not tell you. The site will just tell you that it's a match for that initial and that last name. Upon researching and taking that step, then you would make the necessary phone call and or come into the office where you can verify through court documents that the funds are available for a specific property.
And when you look up your property in the court file, would it be where how much you owe on the property and how much the sheriff sold it for?
It would show how much the bank is due. In addition, at the judicial sales, it would also stipulate how much the property was sold for. So in the case of there being an overage, it would create a surplus.
Oh, great. So they give you an itemized kind of statement on how much it was owed, how much was paid out, and how much you have left.
Yes, it's called a report of distribution and sale, which would show all of the various figures involved in the sale of the property. With that being said, once the sale is done and all of the various fees are taken care of, if there's a overage, then there's surplus, and the litigants are have the availability to get those funds.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So if I call the accounting department or the Chancery Division, I can just give them my name and they will search for my case number and they will pull up my information that I would need.
That is correct. If you call the Chancery Division at 312-603-5133, we'll have staff that mans the phones during our office hours, which are 8:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. They'll be able to look up a case versus via the case number if you have it, or they'll be able to search by name. Upon searching by name, if they're able to ascertain what the case number is, then they'll be able to go into the case. The Chancery Division started imaging back in 2009, which was late 2009. So anything from 2009 up to now, we have images available right on the system. So it wouldn't necessitate us ordering a file. We'll be able to view those documents. We'll be able to make sure that we can get the information that you need to ascertain if there's a surplus. If not, then we'll have to order a file from our record center, which takes on average of 3 to 5 business days. Upon that file coming in, then we'll be able to get those documents and verify if there's any surplus.
That is really quick. The imaging really helps you when I'm calling in for my mortgage foreclosure surplus.
That is correct. Once again, that's from 2009, late 2009, being December, up until now. There's images available for all of our court records in the Chancery Division, so we're able to pull up those documents without ordering a file.
Okay. Well, Gerald, can you please tell us about the Clerk's Office 2017 Second Chance Expungement Summit, when it is?
Sure, I can. The clerk's office on an annual basis has an expungement summit. This year, the 2017 Second Chance Adult and Juvenile Expungement Summit. It's going to be held on Saturday. That's this Saturday, as a matter of fact, coming up, June 10th at Unity Junior High School, located at 2115 South 54th Avenue. That's in Cicero, Illinois. The registration begins at 8:30 a.m. and the doors close at 6 p.m. There will also be a Second Chance Job Information Seminar featuring job preparation workshops for our customers, and there will be information about companies that hire ex-offenders.
What is the purpose of the Expungement Summit?
I'm glad you asked that, Tahani. The Expungement Summit is a community service offered by Clerk of the Circuit Court Dorothy Brown as a vehicle to educate Cook County citizens about the legal processes that can be taken to handle past criminal records. Once a person is arrested, they have a criminal record in the court system that is publicly accessible through the Clerk of the Circuit Court's office. This may affect a person's ability to get jobs, housing, educational, and various social services. At the Expungement Summit, Clerk Brown brings the clerk's office to various communities to give attendees the opportunity to get free legal assistance from volunteer attorneys to file petitions for expungement or sealing on site.
Gerald, what do they need to bring? What do they need to bring when they come to the Expungement Summit?
Well, when you come to the Expungement Summit, you're required to bring your criminal history information. That's commonly known as a rap sheet. For adult cases, to get faster service at the summit, also bring certified dispositions, may be obtained prior to the summit from the Clerk of the Circuit Court for a nominal fee.
Gerald, for the Expungement Summit, if I come at 6 o'clock, will I be helped even though it's closing at 6?
Oh, there's no question you will be.
Oh, great. And at the Expungement Summit, I can get there early and get in line?
Usually there's litigants that's going to be lining up as early as 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. As previously stated, the doors open at 8:30 a.m. But there'll be litigants lining up, and it's usually going to be a long day for the staff. But we're willing to be there because we know that this opportunity to help people get their lives back in order, to better themselves, is very important. And we understand the importance of it to the point where we're willing to sacrifice and be there all day for our litigants.
I heard there were free attorneys there also.
Yes, they are.
Oh, wow. And I also heard that there will be different kind of booths there, such as child support booths to find out about the unclaimed property. Is that true?
Yes, there's going to be many vendors that are attending the Expungement Summit because, once again, not just the clerk's office employees, the Honorable Clerk Dorothy Brown, she makes sure that not only the services that we have available are there for these litigants that come in with the second chance opportunities, but just anything that's available to assist people in getting their lives back on track, because the quality of life is something that's very important, not just to the employees, but the clerk is like a phenomenal person in making that happen.
That's great. Let's go back to the mortgage foreclosure. Okay. For the mortgage foreclosures, do you have any statistics on how many cases that you guys have already paid out?
At this point, I don't have the specific numbers that have been paid out, but I will say that it continues to be slow as far as the number of people that are coming in to claim their surplus. Some of the reasons may be that family members have passed on, things of that nature, and they just are, others are not aware of it. But the money is there, it's always going to be there, and we continue to outreach in all areas to make sure that it's known. Visiting the various churches and places that we can to make sure that they're aware of this surplus being available, and we're always there to assist each and every day.
So you have different outreach to find out if for mortgage foreclosure summit, and so one of the outreaches will be at the expungement summit, correct?
Yes.
And then you can call in
Yes.
and ask about your mortgage foreclosure. You can also go on the website and ask for the mortgage foreclosure.
You can search on our website, and the search engine is up and running every day.
Great. And also for the mortgage foreclosure surplus, is it very hard? Have you seen any cases that it's very hard for them to get the mortgage foreclosure?
No, it's not hard once you know where the case is. And when I say the case is, when you know what the case number is and you're able to ascertain if there's overage from the sale, then the various steps that you have to take. There's all kind of assistance in our office as well as on our website to make sure that you're in a position to receive those funds.
I know mortgage foreclosure is one of the different type of cases that the Chancery Division handles. The Chancery Division handles other cases. What is your other high volume cases that the Chancery Division handles?
Well, the Chancery Division, as I stated earlier, handles a large variety of cases. Couple of them to note is the administrative review process that a litigant has to go through, whether they're attempting to get back on a housing plan that they were put off, maybe a CHA housing voucher, various other administrative offices that have made a decision that is unfavorable and they want to have an appeal to it. So they would come into our office, file an administrative review case. Class action lawsuits are a big a large amount of cases that go through the Chancery Division for various reasons. Someone putting an injunction in to put a stop to something that may be going on. The Chancery Division has a high volume of cases on a daily basis, and there's tons of litigation going on every day in our division.
Great. So when they come to the 8th floor and they go up to the window, and they have inquiring about helping them start the case or even filing their motions or any type of filings, do you have any free lawyers that can help them do that?
Yes, there is a availability even in the building. It's in the on the concourse level at the Daily Center, Chicago Legal Volunteer Services. And there's staff on hand from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. that will be gladly assisting anyone that comes down for assistance on certain matters.
Great. Please note the contact information for the office of the Clerk of the Circuit Court. We are headquartered at the Daily Center, 50 West Washington, with other locations around Cook County. Our general number is 312-603-5031, and our website is cookcountyclerkofcourt.org. Well, we're almost out of time. I thank you, Gerald, for providing such interesting information about mortgage foreclosure surplus search. the search engine, the Chancery cases that Chancery have. For more information for the Expungement Summit, please visit our website at www.cookcountyclerkofcourt.org or like our Facebook pages, Cook County Clerk of Court, Cook County Expungement Summit. You also may call for more information about the Expungement Summit. If you want to call, you can call 312-603-5200 or 312-603-4641. Thank you, viewers, for joining us. Please tune in to the Clerk of the Court Live next Tuesday at 4:30, when our hosts Dana Jackson, Lisa Didell will discuss the Clerk of the Circuit Court mobile app. Thank you and have a good evening.